We have a quorum tonight. 7 o'clock, open session, building permits, Board of Health. Anyone here for a building permit? I see none. Any Board of Health applications? I see none. We have hearings at 7:30, so I trust, let's go into other business. I'm gonna start off with commentary. We have our two new members, the McLaughlins, Connor and Melissa McLaughlin. Thank you again for volunteering to join our crew here. And if you just give a brief bio of yourself, if you do so, Melissa.
I'm Melissa McLaughlin. I'm an electrician in the IBEW, and we moved to Granby last year.
Okay, and where'd you move from?
Chicopee,
Mass. Okay, and Connor?
I'm Connor McLaughlin. I work at Marcotte Commercial Truck Center as one of their technicians. I've lived in South Hadley most of my life, and then I moved to Chicopee for a couple of years with her, and then we moved to Granby.
Excellent. Well, again, welcome aboard. Very, very good. Okay. Let's post our next meeting, September 9th, 2025 at 7 o'clock, if you would, Dave, please.
Yep.
Approved minutes from last meeting dated July 8th. Bob, did you review the minutes, or?
Yes, but I wasn't at that meeting for my minutes.
Okay.
Respectfully, I can.
Did anyone else review the
It was
minutes?
only you and Ed last.
I reviewed them.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the
They
two
looked good.
ladies were there.
Did you look at them,
Yes.
Marissa? Okay, thank you. And current invoices, Desolate Consulting, Dave?
Oh, we approved the
Do we want
minutes.
to vote on the one?
Where, yeah.
We didn't
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Dude, we swing back and forth in that we either vote or we don't vote. Because sometimes we vote and now you're.
I agree. Yeah, we should probably make a.
So I make a motion that we accept the minutes for July.
Thank you.
Discussion? Favor?
Who seconded? Kevin?
Bill.
Hi.
I seconded.
No, you posted. I seconded.
Bobby, you made it.
Great.
Okay, minutes approved.
Thank you.
Current invoices.
You need to sign things here?
Yep.
Thank you. I have an invoice here dated August 1st, 2025, the month of July, 2025. Dave Desolet's Consulting, total of 76 hours at $30 an hour, $2,280. It's broken down as usual, pretty well detailed. If everybody wants to look at it, you're more than welcome to look at it.
Dave, did you get paid your last
Yes,
month?
I just got the check bill.
You did, okay, all right. So I move that we approve David for the amount and
2,280,
21
no, 2280.
2280.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor? Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, next item. Financial accounts update. Ed, do you have anything, sir?
I looked, there's nothing.
No
There's no
financials?
updates, no.
Okay. Plan of the week education. Ann, I think you might have something for us tonight.
Well, yes, this is from my garden. Unfortunately, this is from my backyard, as I'm saying.
What's the name, Ann?
So this is a cattail with the two teeth.
And its Latin name?
It's a type. So type, is that how you say it?
Yep, typha species.
Yep. So, so this is the broadleaf, because there are three kinds right now. So the other is the narrow leaf, and then there's a hybrid. So the narrow and the hybrid are the ones we don't want because they're invasive, and they can live and thrive in very deep water and take over whole bodies of water. So these get to be 4 to 10 feet tall. And actually they're very good for the, ecosystems. They're obviously a wetlands plant. They're, facultative. And they're the first ones that you often see in the mud or whatever to tell you that. And they're obligate, obviously. So anyway, the red-winged blackbirds, as Marissa had found also, and the muskrats live amongst them and create these extensive, I guess, they eat a lot. So when they pig out, they create open spaces, which helps the marshlands in the whole area. And they oxygenate the water because they have these things, for lack of a better word, like all these layers of cellulose that sort of like absorbs everything and circulates the oxygen and, as you were saying, gets rid of all the heavy metals and really cleans the whole environment. So it's really good. They also have an extensive root system, which I did not bring with this, that, so it spreads out, the rhizomes spread out. So they're perennial. They come back every year and they're, in pretty much the same spot and just keep on growing and get denser and denser. And because they're so tall, they start blocking out the sun. And so you want to be careful that they're not blocking out any other nice wildlife stuff.
Are they tuber roots or what type of root system?
It's like the rhizome. It's sort of like,
It's a rhizomic propagation, so they get these big clumps.
yeah,
It's like my pampas grass.
Yeah.
they're really, so that's how they sort of can take over an area really
Yeah.
well. So in Russia, they're called Cossack asparagus.
Really?
In Russia?
Yeah, so they have something similar in Russia.
Hmm.
But the Native American Indians ate them. Survivalists go and eat them. Virtually the whole plant is
I
edible.
heard you could eat the hot dog part of it.
Yeah, when it's green, right before it turns brown. So right now it's like dried out because those little flower heads. This is the male part of the flowers, and this is the female because it's both male and female. And so on the broadleaf, you can tell because it goes all the way to it. And on the narrow leaf or the hybrid, it would be up higher. So it's an all-in-one plant, So they also regulate the temperature while they're oxygenating the water. And they also shelter a lot of wildlife. And I think that's about it, unless you guys have questions and unless you want to add anything.
I can add a few things. So Anne touched on the underground rhizomes. So that's one method of reproduction, but they can also reproduce. This cone portion at the top will actually turn to seeds at the end of the season, and that's their
Whoa.
second. Yep.
When
And
they
they'll
dry out, they blow
dispersed by
everywhere.
wind. And Anne also noted that indigenous peoples have used cattails for food, also to make mats out of and insulation. However, a caveat to using them as food is that they do bioaccumulate heavy metals and PFAS in their vacuoles. So if you are eating this plant, you are uptaking those heavy metals potentially if that's in the area. And yeah, I think you hit everything else on my notes.
So don't eat them if you're next to Monsanto.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, you said there were three subspecies?
There's many subspecies.
So there's 3 different kinds of cattails.
Yeah.
This is the kind you want if we're going to have a cattail. Because they're not going to go into the deep water. They're not going to take over the water source. The other kind are invasive. They're from like Northern Africa and in
Okay.
Asia.
But in this part of the country, is there only one?
No,
All 3 are in this part of the country now.
they're everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about in Granby? Have you seen the other subspecies in
Well-
Granby?
I have to admit, I haven't looked for it.
Well, that's an assignment for the kids.
But when I got this, I was noticing which ones
Yeah.
were there, and I just saw the broadleaf.
Very nice. Excellent, man. Thank you so much, as always.
Thanks.
Okay, number 7, news announcements.
Thank you.
Ed, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I do.
Dave?
The MACC fundamentals, they put out their advertisement publishing or promoting their fall coming ups, and they have this program that would be
Yeah,
excellent.
one thing from Melissa.
New folks, and I have a
the folks
paper.
might attend some of these seminars.
But fundamentals are basically programs, they're lectures. This is all online, by the way, and it's free. Actually, it's not free. I shouldn't say that. There is a cost.
But we pick up the tab.
If it's set up properly, the town will pay for it.
Yeah.
For you, but these are online. You can do it at your own leisure. There's 9 fundamental courses, and basically it gives you the basics of what a conservation commission's responsibilities are. So I don't know what background you have. I heard you describe it. I didn't hear anything about conservation in there. So if you're interested, because you're going to pick up a lot just by attending the meetings, but this will give you some good insight as far as what we are covering, what applicants are responsible for when they bring a project to us. I've got a paper copy, Bill. I thought I'd give it to them.
Of course, please do, Dave, thank you.
This is thank you all information. It also
Thank you.
talks about we have a semi-annual conference that I know many members have gone to. The fall is coming. Those are up at Port Devens, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I've never been able to get to one because of COVID, but they had them online at that point. But attending in person is different. So, but that's what I wanted to promote for everybody. It's not just for the new faces, it's also for us too, because it's a refresher course. I'm sure Marissa is very familiar with all the fundamentals, but Anne, this would be something excellent. Because you're picking up a lot of information and you're attending the meetings, but this gives you a lot of the technical backup. That is what the commission's responsible for.
Absolutely.
But
And we have Mark Stinson from DEP here tonight. Mark, you lecture at these from time to time, don't you?
I got a couple of comments on, towards the end of what issues we've had this week that you guys should be aware of.
Oh,
I don't want to do it now.
yeah, we'll do it in a little bit. That'll be good. Thank you. Okay. Any news on your end, Dave? Anything else? On
no, and there's free lunch and learns in that packet as well. So those are always fun to go to.
The notices,
The what?
ZBA?
planning board stuff.
Just briefly, if you just brief us.
Yeah. We can do that.
Sure. Notice dated July 25th, 2025 from the Granby Planning Board with regards to a name of project. Nature of this hearing is to consider the petition of Maryland. I am calm.
Yeah, Conan.
It's
shared to They're doing the,
185 West 8th Street
they
LLC,
told us,
special permit.
yeah, it's the drive.
Fast food slash.
Well, they want to sell hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Meeting was last night, so anybody want to attend?
I don't know if they attend. Let's say it.
Good timing on their
Yeah.
behalf.
No, they're not in,
No, I.
they're not next to the, they're next to the wet.
Dave,
they're not-
Dave, you and I did a site visit there
Yeah.
about a month ago.
But for another subject, but they brought that up at the time.
What's that?
Okay. Anything else, Dave? Anything else in?
Well, the
News
site visits is the next one
to be scheduled,
to be scheduled. So we got School Street.
right?
That's for Forge Pond, and we determined at the last meeting that their application is complete. But now the commission has to do a site inspection. And based on that discussion, we decided, let's do the inspection September/October when
When
the
leaves are-
vegetation is less
Yes.
vigorous. Right now, it's like a jungle out there. And we don't have our machetes sharpened, so. 49 Aldridge Street is for the Aldridge Mill. We talked about that happening this September as well. 61 Pleasant Street is the drainage around Cumberland Farms that is backing up. They don't take care of the detention basins, so the water doesn't flow through them that well. 245 Amherst Street, that's Mr. Myers, and he's either been on vacation or ill. But he did call me this week. I thought he might attend this portion of the meeting because he's open to having a site visit now. And that's for the potential filling of wetland violation of his neighbor that we were going to walk on his property. So with your permission, I would schedule that for one of the upcoming Saturday mornings so we could take a walk up there.
We can do that, Dave.
All right. And that's the last one. We don't have any the only site visit that we talked about was 375 Amherst Street. And that was for a deck and screened-in porch, but it's outside the jurisdiction of the. So the commission has no comment on that. You know,
Okay,
well, one thing, as long as I'm talking about that, 45 Barton Street approached me on Friday. He wants to put in a solar array in his backyard. Now, this is right next to 40, well, it's a couple houses away from 49 Barton Street, who put the deck expansion on. They're closer to that wetland, but he's up on the hill and he wants to put a solar array behind his house. There's no wetlands anywhere near that property. So I'd like to send a building permit release letter, if it's all right.
yeah, you can do that.
That's for 40.
I know where that.
Yeah, it's Mr. Quinlan.
Yeah.
No relation to
Yeah.
the building inspector.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that's it.
All right, site visit determinations, none, correspondence received. Anything else?
That was it.
That was it, okay. Let's shift gears to other business. It's quarter after, our hearings don't start for another 15, so maybe we can zip through these. 134 Bachelor Street, Beaver Dam causing flooding of property. Dave?
That's the property I looked at. It's a stream going into Bachelor's Stream. Beavers like the water flow, so they've begun damming the stream. And it's flooding their backyard, which is an inconvenience to the homeowner, but what's happening is the water was rising to the point it was about ready to contaminate the leach field. So the Board of Health said they granted a emergency beaver trapping permit to remove the beavers. That's typically a 10-day permit to trap the beavers. And when they knocked part of the dam down, there were some beavers hiding out and they came and repaired the dam. So they asked for an extension, which we're allowed
This is
to
our
grant.
genius.
We're allowed to grant up to 30 days. So I haven't heard from them since then.
Well,
So
again,
evidently,
did you visit that property?
Yeah.
Is that impoundment, would it benefit from a beaver deceiver or not, in your opinion?
well, I couldn't see the actual dam because of the amount of vegetation and everything. And to get to the dam, we would have had to walk through water, waist deep water. So I didn't have my
Some
boots don't go there.
impoundments will benefit from a deceiver, some won't, depending on the geometry.
Yeah.
So if this
The only
continues to be.
deceiver I've seen installed is the one off of Pleasant Street.
Right, that one's working.
And that works really nicely.
Did you issue an emergency permit for any day?
I think they did. We gave them no, Board of Health does. Well, they did.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
10-day trapping,
They did that.
30-day breach, emergency permit.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later. Okay, 23 North Street, deck construction.
That's the one on North Street on the side of the hill again, that was away from this is one we wrote a letter already. And the reason it's in the minutes agenda is so we can incorporate it into the minutes. As people approach us, if they're far away, like they miss a meeting and it's a pretty simple project review, like they're not even close to wetlands, we review it, Bill and I discuss it and grant basically a release letter, so they're allowed to get their building permit to do their project versus waiting 30 days to get to a public hearing.
Okay.
So that's what
Okay.
20,
Number 3, the permalink. Tom Quinlan's not here tonight.
no,
But have you signed into the permalink?
I have, it's not up and live yet. It's a very robust program
Mhm.
that really is designed for the electrical, plumbing, various building inspection requirements. Melissa, you may be familiar with it because different towns have this permalink where they document inspections. And then everybody in that system can see when inspections occur, what the failings were, when they pass. So it's a way of keeping everybody on the same page. And our building commissioner, Tom Quinlan, is doing a great job keeping us informed when people come to him asking for a building permit. he always asks the applicant to come to the Conservation Commission to have them review your property before you go too far. So if there are wetlands being encumbered or you're close to them, the wetlands, we're able to act on it before any other activity occurs. So what this is basically a link that I can then see what activity is going on. But again, we will be just being added as a courtesy. There isn't a lot that Bill, I can see a benefit for us on as a commission, you know? And it's not live yet. He had hoped to have it live in July and
Yeah, it was supposed to be alive yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday,
Oh.
only 11.
Well, maybe it is alive. I haven't been told.
Okay, that's good, Dave. Thank you. 109 Taylor, complaint update.
Yeah, that's the, is that no. Complaint update. That's the one we decided. It's in the same area of the beavers. And she had reached out to Springfield DEP stating that the commission wasn't responding or the Board of Health wasn't responding. So at last meeting, we discussed that we would make a site visit.
I think that was 87 Taylor from.
Now, 109, they're complaining about it for the other.
That's a difference.
So 109 is the neighbor who is feeling their wells being contaminated and all that. So what happened was they went to the commissioner, building commissioner, and had a conversation, a private conversation that said the Conservation Commission wants to come out and do a site visit for you. And there's going to be a $75 charge. And all of a sudden it was like, we're going to take another route. So we were told, stand down, basically, just don't worry about it any longer. So even though they ruffled all the feathers to make a complaint to Springfield, it's like, never mind, we're going to take another route now. So, and that was delivered by Tom Quinlan.
Okay, and since I'm also on the Board of Health this term, we'll probably see this at our Board of Health meeting
That
tomorrow.
area
Yeah, we'll
has
see this.
got a problem.
We'll revisit this tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, 62 Truby, Dave.
That's a new homeowner, bought a piece of property, wants to put a, again, that's on Truby Street in that area, is on top of a hill, lots of views. And they wanted to put a storage shed, buy a storage shed and put it in his backyard, required a building permit because it's a 12 by 24 storage. It was over a limit for a building permit, so they had to get a building permit. And they came to us and basically there's no wetlands. You can't even see wetlands from where they are. So we wrote the letter.
Okay,
So-
thank you. And number 6, Mass Ready Act. You've been
Yeah.
attending those
I
days.
attended a couple lunch and learns. This is a new act coming down the pike. The comments have been closed. They were received up to July 29th. So now it's back in getting finalized. And there's many things about it. There are a lot of questions and not answered. But my takeaway, the biggest takeaway I have is applicants that run through our Conservation Commission review process, if there's a decision that the applicant doesn't like based on the activity or the presentation and the commission makes a decision that the applicant doesn't like, in all instances, the applicant has the right to appeal. Well, currently that appeal process sends the applicant to Springfield, our local DEP office. The change that this act is going to mandate will be that it now goes to Northampton to Superior Court, which is a whole different jurisdiction. I was a little surprised with that, but Bill said that's actually what happened.
A little more costly, I guess.
Yeah, that happens at the Board of Health level
Yes, it
already.
does.
So,
It has for about 10 years.
and I've seen different people say that as this act comes down the pike, there will be, it will impact how we as a commission do our business and review projects and what happens, but it's still too fresh and there haven't been enough lunch and learns to describe everything about this new law.
Dave, when is that law going to be promulgated
They-
and take effect?
They haven't even said that part. I don't know if Mark has any,
They haven't said it.
yeah, they have,
Not even finalized.
no, it's not.
So it's still in review, it's still in comment period?
No. Yeah,
It's going to be.
it's not in comment phase anymore, Bill. That closed.
Yeah.
July 29th.
Oh.
So that's close. So it is in the next step,
Oh, okay, so it might be before the end of the year then.
maybe.
Okay, number 7, 53 Lyman, potential shrub and tree removal in a riverfront area.
Yeah, we have many properties in town that have these nice little creeks that run through their property, which are attractive when you're buying a house, but if the creek doesn't dry up, which in this case, it keeps running all year, it's no longer a pretty little creek, it's a perennial stream that carries much stricter requirements to it. So this son is off on his own. He wanted to help his dad out and clean up the front yard. And the creek has been overgrown and it's encroaching on the usable property. So they hired a company to go in to start cleaning it. And the company asked, do you have your permission, your review from conservation? And they said, oh, no, we didn't know we had to do that. So he talked to us. We said, well, let's go out and do a simple site visit. It's a pretty simple application process for us just to review it and give you some guidance. But there is a $75 charge for that piece of it. And it seemed like when they learned that, they came back saying, no, never mind. We don't need it. The only saving grace is when the contractor talked to me, he said, I'm not going to do the work. If they don't have the Conservation Commission's blessing, I'm not the one going to do it, but be aware that somebody else could. And we know that. So they were trying to do the right thing. And that's all you can do is lead them to water and hopefully they'll take it to. So
Okay, Dave, thank you. Gravel,
any other questions? No.
gravel pit permits, I guess we have.
Yeah,
to
we
sign
do
them.
have to sign those this evening.
You want to sign
So
that?
You wanna do them afterwards or?
Yeah.
We could,
We'll do them afterwards.
okay, or do you want to do it now or?
Let's keep rolling.
All right.
It's 26 after.
Carver's-
We'll get through these other items of. 4
Yeah.
minutes.
Carver Street building lot is the old Naraki gravel pit on Carver Street. And the basic gravel pit land has been sold and there's a house in there. That was done by our friend Damian Cody. But they sold another property up on Carver Street that has been sized. This is in that water recharge aquifer area at Bill. And the property was resized to be 1.5 acres. And he was asking, is it all right to remove the trees? There's no wetland anywhere near it because it's up on the street. And if you recall from our various site visits that we've done at that gravel pit, it's down in a hole and the wetland is actually behind the gravel pit. It's not even on the gravel pit property. So, and he's up on the hill. So we've already sent him a letter also. And this was the next one, Mass DOT. I don't know if everybody knows, but now that they finished the 5 corners, they're finishing up putting the signs up and all that. Mass DOT is going to be starting repaving 202 from 5 corners, and they're going to go all the way up to the Chicopee Street rotary or the turnaround that they just put in.
Oh, okay.
And crossing that street is Ingraham Brook. Right. That is the drainage from the Dufresne Hill pond that goes through the Grove, then crosses the street, and eventually goes into Bachelor Brook. But they sent us a letter asking, does Granby have any bylaws that make working in the wetland more restrictive than what the Wetland Protection Act mandates? And Granby does not. But they sent us a letter, we responded that way. But the thing is they're going to be adding a path across Ingraham Brook so that people can walk. I guess there are trails coming down out of the Dufresne Grove area. And they stop at 202 and they start on the other side of 202. So I don't think they're building an overpass, but they were talking about working in the wetland. And if you look at where Kendall Street intersects with 202, which is about where this brook crosses the highway, that's the wetland that they're talking about working in.
Mhm.
So, have a question or?
Just thinking, because I've walked it a lot of times.
Well, that's where they're looking at and making it improvements. So
I live right there.
Yeah, so what are they going to actually do?
They were just asking if we have any more
Yeah, just
restrictive laws.
repaving, just repaving.
They didn't share what they're doing.
It's not gonna be a bridge reconstruction.
I
It's just
doubt
a
it.
culvert.
Well, I've looked, there is nothing there now. So
There's a culvert.
Oh, there's a
There's
culvert.
culvert, there's a pipe.
that's what they're improving, but they're gonna be working in adding this path.
They probably have to do the ratio forward, not do that, I'm guessing.
Well, that's part of the work, but they're talking to us about, they're physically going to be in the wetland. And they're asking, does Granby have any bylaws, which many communities do? And we said, no, we don't.
Dave, is this project imminent in the next couple of months?
No, next couple of years.
Oh, okay, so they'll be coming to us.
It's not imminent. no.
They're gonna be coming with us.
This is at the very early
We're
stages.
we're design
And
development.
these are the big,
Okay.
these are the international design companies that.
Well, that's right, that's Bechtel doing this.
Yeah.
Business must be slow.
It's not the Bechtel that you thought, it's a different
Yeah.
Bechtel, but it's still an international
know.
corporation.
Right?
And
Business
it's
must be
designing a
slow,
little
that's all I
wooden
can say.
path.
Yep. Okay, 375
And
Amherst Street Extension.
That's, well, technically, it's not the
Well,
extension.
I'm calling it extension because as Ann pointed out to me, she said 375 Amherst Street. I had no clue what it was until I said, oh, that's the extension.
Yeah.
This is the little cusp of the road that crosses 116.
Old Amherst Street.
It has 2 or 3 homes.
Because I
on the
have
west
a
side
dozen
of
homes on it. It's
116.
old Amherst Street. It's before Route 116 was improved.
That's right,
And Amherst Street did a zigzag going up the notch.
right.
And this is one of the zigzags that they, because there were houses on it, they couldn't get rid of it. So now it's a dead end piece. It is still called Amherst Street when you look at the road, but Bill correctly says, like the homeowner even complained, or the mother of the homeowner complained that they lose mail all the time because if you get a new mailman, they don't know. There's Amherst Street is over there too.
Anyway, Ann and Dave and I did a site visit last week and we concluded there's no threat to
It's,
anyone.
no, wetlands is quite a ways
Way
away.
far away. Okay, folks, pretty good timing there, Dave. It is now 7:31, so we can move forward with our public hearings. 34 Carver, continuation NOI Red Fire Farm project that would include the demolition of an existing barn and reconstruction or construction of a new barn with associated gravel parking area for 30 cars. A new wastewater disposal system and public water supply well are also proposed. All proposed work is limited in the BVW buffer zone only. So, Mr. Squire, good to see you, and the floor is yours, sir.
Before we. I got the check.
Oh, we do have a check.
You had told us you received it.
Wonderful.
We have
wonderful.
lost it. So we found it.
But we found the proper amount, Dave,
Yes, it is.
$1,050,
No, it's not, because remember, that gets cut in half
right?
and they already paid a portion of that with the first submission, which was incorrect. So this $482.50 is the correct amount to bring them up to par. And I'm assuming you sent the state their share. So the fee part is covered at this point.
Okay, fair enough, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of other project, updates, other than just, sharing what stormwater information we had. As we noted, this is, this is the gravel parking lot, the line of country drainage, no outlets, in resource areas, and so, it doesn't meet all of the stormwater standards. It would then be, for this magnitude, the onerous, requirement, and so trying to assist them and getting something that will function for what they need. Improving and, changing the site around a little bit to adjust driveways, balance, what we can for previous areas, but we want to keep this as a low impact project, not paving anything, other than accessible spaces, but all that's outside of the resource area. And just trying to do sort of best engineering practices along the edge of the drives, providing some basins. They do have an ecologist involved, that is doing, a little bit more of a detailed native planting plan that they intend to use for educational purposes. I don't have all the details of that, but it's, somebody that, isn't us, but is associated with the project and involved, and that's part of the intent of this. And so, there's, the letter that we provided, offers, statements about compliance with certain portions of the standards, but obviously in certain storm events, it doesn't comply. Again, it's all sort of maintain grass, landscape between this site now, or between the project area now and the resource area. It's been, an existing farm for, I don't know how long, but, the intent is to try and minimize that disturbance and utilize that as best we can to filter, off of the law.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. First of all, this is commercial construction. It's a for-profit business. It's essentially a retail grocery facility containing a parking area, a metal roof, and Jeff, actually, Dave, before we begin, is anyone online? Is Architect Man or Mr. Voiland online?
Let me look.
Because I believe that building will be carrying a metal roof, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I would like to ask Ray that question if he's there.
Nope.
No, okay, all right. Anyway, insofar of the metal roof, clearly, Jeff, you'd like to close this up.
I think Dave, they've,
Okay.
established.
Our intent is to close this out. We did ask you for a stormwater report, which was not received, but I understand your reasoning. However, I would like to make certain amendments to the design that we could incorporate in special conditions, which I think would satisfy the commission, allow you to move forward with the project, and make life easier for everybody, if that would work with you.
I think so.
All right. What I would propose that we do is threefold. I'd like to interconnect your two basins. I realize if you interconnect the basins with another swale, if you will be encroaching on the outer riparian zone slightly. I realize that. However, I think the direct benefit to the wetland system by being able to intercept that little hammerhead of driveway is well worth that event. Now, secondly, I'd like you to design or calculate the volume of the new basin system, which will include your two rain garden basins, if you will, and the new interconnecting ditch. Make sure that that is 200% of your current volume. And that will probably take care of itself by the time you dig the ditch. All right, so that should work.
Of current volume existing.
Yes, existing, as shown on the design. So if you've got 500 cubic feet, bring it up to 1,000 cubic feet, whatever X is, make it 2X.
So based on the proposed plan, not.
Yes, that plan, yeah. So sum up basin one and basin two, sum up the two volumes, come up with a number, multiply times two, make sure with the interconnection that you cover that. Okay? Now, the other thing that was of somewhat of a concern is we do have a public water supply well to the southeast. Now, Dave, do you have that other plan, the one that's not terribly legible, but it does show the radius of the wells?
Hmm. Trying to get to the well.
Yeah, there you go. Zoom that in. There you go. Yeah, I see your zone one. Your zone one, I believe, is 146 feet. It does not encroach on the building. Only other concern, Jeff, we have is channelization of roof runoff. But Mark, you said the criterion is as long as the channelization does not occur in the zone one itself, they're okay?
The
I
only.
don't know what's cropping this.
The only thing that belongs in a zone one is activity related to zone one.
That is digging the trench for the pipe from the well to the building.
It's related to zone one. The discharge should be outside the zone.
Okay, let me
It's wrong.
step over.
Doesn't.
I know it's.
That's evidently what it is because it's a little.
I found the same.
I have this plan. I don't particularly care for. We have a plan from Berkshire, which is better. It has less information. That's the problem.
I really would like to see the well.
I would too.
Here we go. Okay, right there, right there. That's good. Perfect. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah, hopefully this will clear itself.
It's ridiculous.
So much for high speed.
It's not. I don't touch it.
Okay, here. We're gonna get channelization coming down here. We're gonna get channelization coming down here. Now, I'm assuming that they're not gonna put gutters in this building because I think it's a fairly tall building. And trying to clean those leaves out of the gutters would be a complete nightmare. So we're gonna end up with some channelization. Hopefully, they can direct the water so that it either flows. That's the problem. You don't want the water flowing to the leach field, that's gonna be mine. I'm guessing this channelization is gonna work its way down here. And hopefully it will show the base consistent way. That's a fairly large roof, being a 4,000 square foot building, you're gonna get a fair amount of runoff, and it is a metal roof. Now, Mark, are there any current regulations regarding galvanized steel roofs?
I think it was the zinc roof, it's the one that you have to treat.
That's the galvanized roof. That's galvanizing the zinc.
It's the same.
Yeah, so that's gotta be treated or else it should be outside the zone one anyway.
Okay, well, it seems to be technically outside of the zone one, albeit just by a few feet. So, anyway, back to the basin design, so we're gonna interconnect those. And Jeff, would you be able to put some sort of a level spreader that's easily maintainable? That can be adjusted every season after the frost moves it around? And what that would do is that would recreate sheet flow, if you will, to the south.
Yeah, I mean, I think the intent, at least right now, one of the basins doesn't overflow until a 100-year storm. And I think the idea was that you've got a, I don't know.
Again, if you're doubling the volume, your chances of overflow are down less and less and less.
Right. But I think we're trying to establish a 20-foot long, level berm, which would, in that storm event and that sort of velocity, would spread the water out as effectively as the level of spreaders.
Because I've designed level spreaders in the past out of concrete and wood boards. The wood board with the slots are nice because every year when the frost heat moves the wood around, you can readjust them really easily. If concrete moves in the frost, you ain't adjusting it, believe me. So design something that would be easily maintainable for those folks. And that would, between the new basin sizing and the level spreader, I think that would address some of those concerns. And again, the fact that you have a public water supply well, and that's standard 6, which you don't run into that often, but that's a standard 6-inch, which we're at least partially. Are you guys all good with that? Does that make sense? What we're trying to accomplish here? Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Bobby, Bruce, Marissa. Okay. Mark, you got any comments?
Just the timeframe of when you want this, remember we talked about that. The redesign, remember we talked about it?
What I'd like to do is write it into the special conditions. And the fourth condition that would be written in, Jeff, would be, we would ask for a shop drawing. That is essentially a cut sheet or sketch, a non-formal sketch of the design and construction of those particular elements, namely the
Level spread.
level story.
So if we provided an updated plan set. and-
Oh, yeah, for one of an updated plan set, that's more than sufficient.
These aren't working drawings anyway, so you can put,
You would just have a design
You
sketch.
should, that'd be fine, okay.
Plan, don't do it.
That would be great, that would be great. That would be great.
So
So what we can do then is we can hopefully close the hearing tonight, vote to approve of these conditions. And then you would agree to send us a design sketch in the next 30 days or something.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so let's go around the room here. Ann, any commentary?
No, I think you covered it.
Is it okay? Melissa and Connor, unfortunately, you're not able to vote on this because you haven't attended the first meeting, the first set of meetings, but you'll come up to speed soon enough.
Actually, I'm sorry, I do. So are there gonna be a lot of plantings to catch everything also to help with the lands over there?
To do anything that's gonna be disturbed, I know we've got a sort of a generic conservation mix specified, but as I noted, they've got a, more specialized landscape ecologist involved in the project, and I'm not, I have all those details, so I know that they've been working with them to develop a more detailed plan around, directly around the barn, around the, parking area.
So all native plants.
Oh, yeah, and then they want to make that part of sort of educational opportunity for, for visitors and signage and stuff, so I know, again, I don't have all the details, but I know that's part of the plan.
Okay, Marissa, any comments? Bob? Yeah,
no comments.
yeah. Okay, so why don't we move to close the hearing at this point?
You vote on it or no?
No.
Hmm?
Let's make a motion to close.
Yeah, let's close the hearing and then we can vote. So I move that we close the hearing at this point. So no new information may be introduced after this.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, deliberation. So Dave, if you would you be kind enough to read just in
Oh,
In
I gave
brief.
it to you.
brief form our, not the entire thing, just the items that I had.
All right. Well, I can go through this pretty quickly.
Okay, good.
Basically, we've got 12 special conditions. You'll see a copy of this also, Jeff. But the rain garden basins shown on sheet LC 131, which is your sheet dated May 14, shall be hydraulically interconnected.
And by
Storm,
hydraulically, we mean via a ditch, not a pipe. And that's actually a good point that Dave brought up earlier.
stormwater storage volume for the new basin system shall be 200% of the submitted design. Wetland edge of basin, in other words, the southern edge of that basin shall be equipped with an easy to maintain level spreader. And that you can detail in your next drawing. The applicant shall submit a shop drawing for Conservation Commission review and approval prior to construction, which we discussed. A pre-construction meeting shall be held at the site prior to resuming any work. The pre-construction meeting shall be scheduled once this order of conditions has been recorded at Hampshire County Registry of Deeds, and proof of this recording has been submitted to Granby Conservation. And that's highlighted in the order as well, as you know, paragraph C9. Best management practices, and this again is still in the draft form, but best management practices as outlined in the Massachusetts Erosion and Sediment Control Guidelines for Urban and Suburban Areas, dated May 2003, shall be used for all erosion control efforts related to this project. Then the erosion control barriers should be placed no closer than 25 feet from the edge of any bordering vegetated wetland, and far enough away from any work zone to allow construction traffic to freely move about the site without damage to the ECB. The ECB should be considered a work limiting boundary line, boundary for all construction activities, which I think you you said Berkshire Design, that's your intention also. So,
Excuse me, Jeff, what do you want to use for erosion control? Well, I think we would not allow would be hay. You can use straw, wattles.
It's either, yeah, I imagine it's silk socks.
Yes, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Filter sock will be fine.
Or silk fencing.
Yeah, okay, but no hay.
yeah, and this is something we discussed at the last meeting, that due to the proximity of the proposed community well location being so close to the riverfront area buffer and the edge of the BBW, we are recommending a 25-foot radius around the proposed well to protect the resource area. So we want to make sure that the ECB stays intact when they're working there. We're not suggesting to move the well. We're just saying protect the resource area. Again, reinforcing under no conditions shall the operation of equipment, storage of materials, stockpiling of soil, or any site disturbance should take place on the wetland side of any ECB. This order shall be included with all construction-related documents. All contractors working at the site shall be made aware of the provisions contained in this order and adhere to all conditions herein, both standard and special. At all times, the site foreman, supervising engineer, or construction manager shall have a copy of this order and direct compliance with its requirements. That's outside of your control, but it's more for the owner and the construction manager. All waste products, grub stubs, and debris, construction materials, etc., shall be deposited at least 100 feet from any wetland resource area unless specified in this order on an approved plan. In accordance with the federal and state stormwater requirements, all construction entrances shall incorporate a 25-foot wide tracking pad to limit the transport of mud and or dirt onto the paved street. And I think that's in your, at least I saw that somewhere, I think so. So that's what we have right now as special condition.
Does anyone want to add anything to that? Everybody good with that? Ed, you good with it?
That's all my way.
Okay.
All right, it's all set. So that's, oh, go ahead, Ann.
So if there is a resulting flood for whatever reason, you know, I know you're planning for 100-year flood, but not gonna happen every week. Is there any protections built into any of this for the neighbors in case there is any kind of flood damage?
I think if you look at the flow regime in this area, the water's gonna flow right to that perennial stream. That perennial stream is a feeder stream to Stony Brook. Stony Brook runs east to west in that area. But that's a good question. Dave, if you'd be kind enough just to call Google Earth and we can just take a quick look at Google Earth on it.
I've got something better, Bill. Let's see if I can find it.
I think we need a quantum computer.
I need stuff. I get.
That's where Andrews.
Yeah, I know.
We have an image file there from Mr. Sid. Did you see that? The last kilometer, right?
What's that?
There's an aerial image file, looks like Mr. Sid. Right up there, is that it?
Plan set, but that's cozy on that book that says to be as human, to rule scrutiny.
Mr. Sid still exists and has been 40 years.
Still. Icon look different. It looked like one.
No, I have it. I did it, and then I took the. Maybe it's up here. Because I did do an analysis on where the 100-year flood is, and this particular piece of property is outside of it, right here.
Use your stream up right there.
Well, it's the FEMA map you're looking for. So we are talking about Carver Street at the curve. I'm sorry, this machine is acting.
Well, I think you've got a lot of stuff open. If you close a lot of, you probably have 20 Firefoxes open. You gotta close some.
All right. Well, anyway. It's in this, what Ann is talking about is, this is the current location
Yeah.
of the property. This dark zone A is the red, is the 100-year flood as proposed by FEMA. So currently the property, the entire parcel is outside of the 100-year flood. But as you're pointing, this is the 100-year flood, and we're having greater rainstorms now. So the land is all relatively flat, as you know. We've been on site visits in the area, so where the water will go is, I don't know.
The neighbors raised that issue.
What's
and
that?
when The neighbors raised that issue at a
But the
meeting.
neighbors are across the street, Elaine.
Right.
It's not gonna affect. them.
But neighbors,
The folks on the other side of Carver.
they're over here.
Yeah, this property
That's-
will not affect those.
I think their concern too is also just the activity.
Yeah.
And this is Stony Brook over here, so this tributary runs into Stony Brook, and if there's a flood, it backs up from west to east. So, but the property is located in this particular corner right here. And this is the field, basically, that they currently farm.
You know, speaking of other things, and this has nothing to do with Granby Conservation or DEP. And Jeff, I'm sure realizes this. It's up to you guys to decide whether or not you want to file a SWIP with EPA. Because I think you are just on the cusp of 1 acre disturbance, but again, it's none of our business. You guys deal with that yourselves. Yeah, okay. All right, so, notwithstanding any other comments, I think we should call for a vote. Dave, you'd entered into the record the proposed, language for the special conditions, so that's in the record. So I move then that we approve this project subject to the special conditions as read in by Dave.
Second.
Second from Ed. Any other discussion? Okay. None heard? All in favor of this project? Aye. That's it. You're done. Thank you.
Thank
Mark, I want to talk to you about beaver dams. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you. Jeff, you're all set?
Thank
And
you.
tell your colleague, we'll see them at the Board of Health tomorrow night.
Yes.
No, it's actually tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
Yeah, tomorrow night. We'll see him tomorrow night. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mark, every year we have the same discussion internally, the whole issue of coordination between Board of Health and Conservation on these beaver projects. I agree 100% with you. There is a distinct form, it's a WPA form for beaver removal. And we have filled those in the past.
No, you don't fill those forms.
We have done so in the past.
You're not supposed to.
Well, we did one for Westover Air Base about a year ago in March.
There's guidance out there that says, okay, so let me ask you a question. If you have a beaver dam flooding backing up against the culvert underneath Route 202, who's gonna, what are you gonna do?
First of all, the ones that we get involved with are public safety and health and welfare projects. That is, if a well is being
I
flooded,
asked you a specific question. Just go with me.
right, what's the question?
Okay, if you have a beaver dam blocking.
What I would do is, since Dave DeRocher has a general order of conditions with the town, I would have Dave would go in there and remove the sticks. That's what would happen,
Right,
right?
that's so well. Okay, now, so the Board of Health is the one.
That's
that
right.
Want the beavers trapped. Somebody has to go to the Board of Health, you get a 10-day trapping permit.
That's what we have issued. Colleen in the Board of Health office issues 10-day trapping permits. That's correct.
But the Board of Health has nothing to do with breaching the dam.
That's correct.
Okay.
But they do have something to do with removing the beavers. Yeah, breaching the dam is conservation, removing the beavers is Board of Health,
Right,
correct?
that's all I wanted to start.
Okay, all right, yeah, we realize that, we realize.
Cumberland Farms, you brought that up. You're gonna issue an enforcement order to have them maintain their stormwater DMPs?
Dave, there's an issue, and Ed, there's an issue with ownership of the,
The
of the
property line, Mass DOT, I'm assuming, drew the property line between Cumberland Farms and their right of way through the middle of these two detention basins. So we reached out to the manager of that particular store, who happens to be in Connecticut, and he told me that the store has no responsibility for that, those two basins, because the water flows actually through two basins before it goes into a culvert that goes underneath.
Pleasant Street.
Well, it goes underneath Pleasant Street, but then under CVS.
That's right.
What? Well, that's what he told me. That was his understanding. So, because he said,
If you look at standard 9, stormwater standard 9.
Yes, it was a discharge.
No, standard 9 is ongoing maintenance.
Okay.
Right.
So there's a requirement in there that you put the ownership information, the person responsible for maintenance of the stormwater BMPs in it. And there's a requirement that if the ownership or the management changes, the Conservation Commission must be notified. If you haven't been notified, Cumberland Farms is still legally responsible
for the whole detention basin?
for everything
Really?
that's part of the order conditions. That's what I said.
Cumberland Farms built that basin back in the late 70s, I think, early 80s, late 70s. It's been there.
Well, they said it was part of their
I thought
development.
that was in the 90s.
I don't think.
Kevin Brooks was chairman of the commission when that was built.
Oh, that's why I said that.
That was a long time ago.
That's why I said.
We tried looking that up. I think the order of conditions are recorded. I believe it refers to either monthly
Yeah,
as the engineer.
the stormwater management guidelines didn't even come into effect until 1996.
That's right. See, that's the problem.
So you have to find the actual notice of intent that references maintenance of stormwater basins. See if it even mentions it. See, I was under the assumption that it was after maintenance.
No.
Okay.
Now, Mark, Dave and I tried to communicate with the Mass DOT engineering and we didn't really get any.
No.
All, you know, Robin Hanson, I think her name is.
Levensworth, Patty Levensworth, the chief.
He's the chief, yeah. Patricia.
Robin is, one of the wetland engineers, that I worked with since Billy Lee has left DOT.
Well, can you talk to her and have her work with us?
We'll get you her contact information.
Okay.
Directly.
Excellent. Thank you. Good. Because this has been an ongoing nightmare. This is what caused the flooding over at the Halon Plaza because that pipe was blocked up.
Well,
So property boundaries for what, the property boundaries are different than they were when Cumberland Farms was built.
Well, they pointed, in my conversation, this is a manager. He's in another state. He's responsible for this store.
And dozens of others do.
What's the address on?
Well,
that?
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Orleans?
And he's the one that told me, he's the one that said, the property line goes through the middle. He said the state of Massachusetts is responsible to take care of that. We brought it up to our highway, Dave DeRocher. He doesn't know who's responsible. All he knows is nobody's doing anything. We've got 20 years of debris sitting at the bottom of that.
And there were trees
Basin.
growing in there, all kind of trees. There was like autumn olives and all kind of.
So where it's a,
Was issued to Cumberland Farms.
yeah, they've always been there.
They've always been.
Yeah,
there.
it has not changed ownership since.
And I would say,
Well,
it's an enforcement order against Cumberland Farms, let it fly.
I mean,
Their headquarters is in Rhode Island.
yeah, well, that doesn't matter.
I just had an
It was built,
enforcement order against, a car dealership failure to maintain, a stormwater basin. And if you know Deerfield, the Cumberland Farms there,
Well, that was just built recently, right?
never maintained it.
They got bad soils up there too.
See the big pile of fill this one big pile, and they estimated the whole thing.
Wow.
And, because I was getting him to issue an enforcement order against Cumberland Farms there. Brand new.
I know it's brand new.
Took care of it.
And they got horrible soils up
You
there,
raise,
too.
you raise a good point, Mark. Does Cumberland Farms typically own their
85
own buildings, or do they have a developer own them and then they lease from a?
It shows a
Really?
rating 97.
Like the one in Granby,
So between 85 and 97.
they haven't maintained that basin either. I'm pretty sure Cumberland's Farms owns that.
I think it's close to 80.
Figure it out. But the problem is, DEP does not push anybody, even themselves, for maintenance of these stormwater.
I know, that is the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah, but if they don't do it, we can't. You can talk all day, but they're not gonna do anything, you're saying. So
Well, we had a big stormwater powwow last year, and I even brought this point up to everybody in DEP and wetlands was in the room on teams.
Mhm.
And I said, why do we have these regulations? DEP is not enforcing the keeping those detention basins clean.
Yep, I agree.
And Tom McGuire and no answer.
That's right.
where this is hitting the road for us, obviously, we're in charge of the Wetlands Protection Act, but these two detention basins being filled with debris are blocking the flow of water coming from Hayland Plaza, which is a commercial plaza. But when it floods, it's backing up water into Amherst Street residential
In people's
properties,
basements.
and their basements are filling up with water.
Yes.
So it's residential. These people are way back, the water is going down and it's slowly creeping up. And last year, I think it was, we had complaints coming from Amherst Street residents who had water coming into their basement. And when we checked the Halon property detention basin, now it's not designed as a detention. It's really just a low area. It was absolutely full of water. And then,
What about the CBS base?
well, that had no water in it.
Well, that's big, CVS basins are working perfectly. And that's on the southwest side of the intersection.
Right.
Those are not a problem.
The
But,
what?
but Dave, no, the CVS system's working fine. That's
Oh,
a
it's
brand
working.
new
So they
system.
don't have a system.
That's the
pipe goes
VHB,
underneath.
that's the VHB design system.
Yeah, but the pipe goes through them. They're not detaining.
But Mark, the big problem I'm seeing with these basins, it's not simply the vegetation. It's the trees and shrubs and the stuff that just gets gnarly. And then it gets in and blocks the pipes up. That's all.
And it's the sediment.
That's right,
Yeah.
the sediment too, of course, the
They
sediment.
haven't cleaned it out.
That's right.
So I would not issue, I told the chair, I said, don't issue a certificate of compliance, because it's been in compliance.
To DOT. To DOT when they come to us.
Deerfield.
The companies in Deerfield, yeah.
I said, don't issue it.
Well, they have to come to us for a certificate anyway. Because they did work on School Street for their compensatory storage. They did.
Certificates of compliance are another paper tiger. So what if you don't get a COC? If you're not gonna sell the property, who gives a fuck, right?
Well,
But who at Westfield does, they have an ordinance, and they require posting a bond.
Oh,
Posting a bond always gets people.
they
yeah,
want their money
that
back.
gets action, doesn't it? Well, that's why.
Require $30,000 bond.
Yeah. You get their attention.
Yeah, but, that's another reason why we do need a local wetlands bylaw. Insofar as even if it just has that one phrase in it, it's worth its weight in gold, right, Mark? Worth its weight in gold. It'd be nice to have some little 25-foot no work zones and stuff like that, but having people maintain and get COC would be
Just so
very.
you remember, we do have Scott Jordan. in
Okay,
there. He's
okay.
for Forge.
All right, this is gonna go quick. Let's
Yeah.
bring this one forth now. Mark, thank you again. Thanks for your
Thank you,
help
Mark.
on everything. We'll be in contact.
I'll
Thank
get you
you.
the information from asking.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Drive safe. Yep. 23 and 41 School Street, Forge Pond. Notice of intent application filed by the town of Granby for the proposed replacement of a dam that has been deemed in poor condition. This is Forge Pond Dam. The proposed work includes widening of a portion of Bachelor Brook below the new dam, the construction of retaining walls, and the removal of a decrepit building and shed. And the consultant is
Scott Jordan, who's in
of
Ecotech.
Ecotech and the other company.
Well, Ecotech is leading, they're the project manager. McClure Engineering is the
McClure, yeah,
one that
and-
actually did all the design, a lot of the design work.
Okay, so
And,
is Mr. Jordan here?
well, Scott Jordan is in the room. He's got his hand up.
There you go. So let's open up.
Turn on your mic. There he
There he
goes.
is. Hello, Scott. Can you hear us?
His mic's off.
Your mic is off, Scott. Turn it on. Unmute
Unmute.
yourself.
Unmute, they say.
There he goes.
You might be able to unmute him with the three dots. You can unmute people.
He can't hear us either.
If he pushes his space bar, he can turn the mic on now.
Can I?
Scott, can you hear us?
Yeah, I think
Did he-
he like he just
You
can't.
have to Unmute yourself.
We
Push
can't,
your space bar.
we can't hear you, Scott.
If you push the space bar, that might work.
No, he's got to hit this microphone button.
Okay, Scott, if you can hear us, maybe we can do this in mixed mode. We'll talk and then you can wave your hand or whatever.
Draw pictures and.
It might work. Scott, can you hear us? Okay, what we'd like to do is, in concert with what we said last month, we would like to continue the hearing until a date where we can do a site visit at the Forge Pond Dam site after vegetation drops, for many reasons. The most practical of which is we can see what we're doing when we walk around the site. And again, forget the insects and that sort of thing. So does that work with you, waiting until mid-fall to do the site visit? Is that okay with your team? Still has his hand.
React. Dave does live worse.
Okay, no. Scott, were you able to hear what we said?
Can we just call him?
I don't know if he has a telephone. Scott, do you have a telephone number we can call you at?
Oh,
Oh, I hit the description. Oh, here we are. Here we are.
Chris is on also. I didn't
Is
see
it, is
that.
this Chris?
McClure.
Oh, hi, Chris. Oh, good. Did you hear what I had asked Scott?
I did. Scott, if you want either nod, yea or nay, as part of that discussion, if you're okay with them waiting till vegetation, from the fall for a site visit.
I guess he can't hear us. Chris, I don't think he can hear us.
But
Yeah.
email?
One sec.
Oh, you can hear us. You just said I can hear you. I saw those lips move.
Yeah. Chris, maybe you can call him up on the telephone.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, we'll revert back to ancient technology. Yeah, smoke signals.
Yeah, just.
Semaphore alphabet, that was.
Can he see us on the camera?
He's already moved in, so he should not see us.
It's a blank piece of paper and write some notes.
Yeah, to a mirror, so you can, wait.
That's another reason we need a quantum computer.
okay, so.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Okay. Oh, he's using,
somewhere.
he can use his telephone. I don't think anybody has ever done that before.
What are we calling it?
Chris. Oh. He's calling me.
It's like me, I mean, people said.
Oh, hello. It works. It works. Yeah, there's a, okay, but your phone works really well.
You gotta be careful of feedback. Watch out for the feedback, Scott. Bring your mic away from the speaker. You're gonna get feedback.
Let's see, I'm
Yeah.
gotta get muted. Just like being nasty, nasty space station.
Turn on,
Talking.
Turn on what?
turn the audio down just a touch.
Hey, take that microphone.
This?
Yeah, it might be on.
I can't turn this.
That microphone's for him. It's not.
You don't know.
Yeah,
which one.
I don't think this is causing a problem. Do you?
Oh, no, that's just G cam. That's the junior. Yeah. Well, it's nothing to do with. No. This isn't. Anyway, Scott, can you hear us? Scott, can you hear us, sir? Oh, okay. That's the problem when you're doing mixed mode, you feedback potential super high.
Anyway,
So
just,
are you okay with us waiting until fall to do the site visit? Just say yes, please.
I think I heard.
Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, that was a yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Chris, is everyone, are you guys okay on your team waiting until fall to do a site visit after vegetation falls?
So, yeah. Engineers. See. Working conditions in order to, complete their review. So what Scott is proposing is that, maybe we could schedule time to meet, out at the site. You know, that I grass would be the area that pulling off the road there.
Yeah, but the point is, Chris, I'd like to wait until the vegetation is off the trees so that we can actually get a good view of what we're looking at. Otherwise, it's just like working in a jungle.
Yes, I understand.
but they need it for their report of engineering, sounds like, to complete that.
Yeah, we definitely know the conditions going on for, you know, this process takes extensive period of time, so, well, yeah.
Well, it's already the middle of August. So can you wait till at least the middle, late September for this?
So we look at that.
Oh, no worries, Chris.
Oh,
Can we schedule a, start, wondering if it's scheduled and it's like, for reviews and if I get hold in the meantime?
we could probably go on 23 That's the landowner, and he's mowed this grass right up to the dike. And you could probably see everything on that.
Well, not exactly.
Well, you could do both. In other words, obviously the sluice way is going to be on 43. There's no way around that.
Well, let's wait till September when the weather's a little more.
Yeah, it will work on. Acceptable within, within some weeks.
So what date do you want to propose, Chris?
And just check it down. Scott, do you have a date in mind?
During the week.
And Scott is suggesting a week before your next hearing.
Next hearing is September 9th, so it'll be Labor Day weekend or week. Like Tuesday.
That's
the
actually okay, because I'm going in for surgery that day, so that gives me a good excuse to be out.
Tuesday the 2nd, you're going for surgery?
Fourth, one of the fourth.
That's Thursday, so. So Tuesday or Wednesday would be good?
Yeah.
Would Tuesday or Wednesday work okay, Chris, on your side or Scott on your side to meet us?
You just check my calendar.
So we're looking at September 2nd or September 3rd.
September 2nd, 3rd, Scott.
Third. Morning, I suppose, like 10, 11 o'clock or early afternoon.
Is that Wednesday or Tuesday?
Wednesday.
He's done so.
Whatever works.
Either way.
Can you guys make that?
That one I can.
Can you guys make that? You guys all work during the day. right?
Yeah, we have day jobs.
Your mountain's close
All
to
right,
it.
Bob, Marissa,
It's
you
the
got
first day
class
of the semester.
that- you got class that day. Ann, can you make that?
What time is it gonna be, in the morning?
We could do, but he's saying it's good either morning or afternoon.
If it's morning, I can do it. I can't do the afternoon.
Yeah, so accommodating.
It worked, Kevin, you're working and
I can do the morning.
you could,
I could probably do afternoon. I get out at 2. I don't know if that would.
you can do
I get out at 2 p.m. so I could be here for 2:30 ish.
2:30-ish. So
Most are saying
they're all saying,
I'm just saying if there's.
Yeah, no,
Different
thank you for offering. I guess morning will be the.
Yeah, like 10 or 11 o'clock. Obviously, you folks, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning would be good.
Yes, that's
Yes.
fine.
Okay,
Okay, that's it then.
let me confirm with everybody.
Sure.
Obviously, you folks are coming a longer distance, so I'll make sure we set a time. We picked the date, September 3rd, and we'll meet at the site on School Street, I suppose.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, Chris, Scott, thank you very much. I move that we continue the hearing until September 9th. So this hearing's continued till September 9th, and we'll see if the site goes at the week before.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're all done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else, gang?
gravel permits.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna sign gravel permits now.
I'm gonna recuse myself.
Use yourself in signing gravel permits?
Yeah,
Yeah, because that does all the surveys and lots.
well, I work for most of these guys.
Oh.
Whatever they want. Monitors and,
All right.
Well, yeah, we gotta grab one with Bob's. Yeah, go get the stash of points. Stash.
All right, doesn't matter which one.
Do you,
Oh, they're fine.
no, they're all blind. You just need.
just see the sign.
Five of
You
them.
can see we're a high budget operation. We can't do sport.
No,
Looks like it's
Thank you,
just one.
sir.
Yeah, you just,
There's a bunch of them.
We just signed one.
well, there's signatures, one's for 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right,
Signing this one.
all right. I'm signing the last one.
Then you'll Xerox.
You guys have a horrible image. I'm a slob.
I don't know what happened. You guys might.
You know, my father tells the story where his signature was signed. One day, he started, one day my mother says, why don't you sign properly? So he did. The check went to the bank telephoned him saying, someone forged your signature. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be legible.
That's right.
It's just a signature.
Story. Honestly, a true story. Yeah, Bob, Bob is
Okay.
next.
Make the motion to adjourn for public hearing.
Yeah. Second,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Isn't there a protocol that the chair is not allowed to either make a motion or, I know you can vote, but you can't make motions as a chair.
Is that in Robert's rules?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I read that and
Oh,
I was thinking how many times the chair makes a motion in our group, but oftentimes, now we have more bodies. So, you guys know Robert's rules? No. No.
You will soon enough.
Well, thank you very much.
But thank you for agreeing to help us out.
I can't.
If you want some light reading, you can read the state wetland regulations, which is 310 CMR 10. And if you're an electrician, you know how to read state regulations, so it's very similar. Boring as heck, but important. So 310 CMR 10.000, the wetland regs. And if you want to read the Mass General Law, it's chapter 131, section 40. Actually, it's 131A, section 40. That is the underlying Mass General Law, which underpins the regulation.
So before I close, can we close the meeting?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's 8:25, so I'm gonna close this.
Meeting's adjourned.
Meeting is adjourned. And as Jason said, we close the public hearing portion of.
Yeah, Ann's